Hello, welcome to another video in the Summer of LinkedIn Strategy series. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Karen Yankovich, and we are live right now on my Facebook page, my Facebook group. And if you're not a part of the Facebook group, you totally should be. You can join us at linkedinforwomencommunity.com. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. So I am doing this series kind of somewhat consistently but randomly over the course of the summer of 2022, just to bring some LinkedIn strategy to you. We did a LinkedIn profile live video series and in December, and I was just trying to think of what could I be doing in the summer that could also bring value to you. So we decided to do some strategy. So if you have not checked it out yet, if you go to my YouTube channel, and I'm at Karen Yankovich across all social media platforms, you can see there's a whole playlist of these videos. So this video will go to that playlist once we're done here as well. So excited to be here with you live. If you have any questions while I'm live, please drop them in. I would love to answer your questions while I'm live. If not, you're watching this on the replay, still happy to answer your questions. Just drop them in the wherever you're watching this, just drop them in and I will answer them. So what I want to talk about today, and we're talking about strategy, right? So I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit on strategy this summer. Strategy is my favorite thing. I mean, I really do believe, like, I am all about building in ease into my business. And I am committed to that for your business as well. And I think that the better we get at strategy, the more ease we have in our business, right? The less we're spinning our wheels, the less we're running around. So one of the strategies that I teach in my She's Linked Up program, and if you are interested in learning about that, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. Just grab a spot on my calendar at KarenYankovich.com/call. We can chat and see that or whatever you're looking to get some support with. I'm happy to jump on the phone with you. But one of the things that I do in everything that I do is I infuse a PR flair into the work that I do on LinkedIn, because I do truly believe that as we build out our LinkedIn strategy, a big part of it is our credibility, right? Showing up as if we're worthy of these connections, as if we're worthy of these relationships. And if you are the one that's getting quoted in the newspaper, interviewed, by your local newspaper or your local TV or radio station, interviewed on podcasts, then you are it gives you additional credibility, right? It builds credibility into you. So when you're going for those big contracts, those big, fat, juicy contracts that are there for you on LinkedIn, having been featured in the media and on podcasts and interviewed on podcasts and things like that gives you additional credibility, helps you be the one that they sign the contract with, right? So it's a big part of what I teach. What I want to talk about today is using LinkedIn in connection with being interviewed on podcasts. And I get asked this question all the dang time. I have a podcast. If you have not listened yet, you can check that out at goodgirlsgetrich.com. But if you just search Good Girls Get Rich, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can check it out. We actually have a really kind of emotional episode coming out today or tomorrow. I fast-tracked it a little bit. Normally we release our episodes on Monday mornings, but I bumped this week's because I wanted to get a different one in. So check that out, goodgirlsgetrich.com. So you're going to want to listen to this week's episode when it comes out. That's episode 203, I think, is coming out this week. So we've got 203 episodes, lots and lots and lots of free, great LinkedIn strategy tips in my podcast. But as a podcast host, I get pitched a lot, right? And I am not here. I want to just keep the vibe high, right? I know that there's a lot of publicity firms out there that do a great job pitching their clients to be guests on podcasts. Not my favorite way to bring on guests, because I don't know those people, right? Like I do a guest every other episode typically, and again, all about the ease, right? I'm not looking to add work for myself, but typically every other episode of my podcast is a solo show, and the opposite one is a guest show. And I like to interview my students when I get a chance. I love to give the people that have joined my program. I mean, we have the most brilliant women in the world in our She's Linked Up program. So I like to interview them so that they get some more visibility and that you as a listener can learn from some of them, right? So because of that, I don't actually have a lot of third-party guests, I guess, right? So I don't often say yes to pitches that we get to people to be on my podcast. That doesn't mean that I don't ever do it. And we have a process, we have an application process and all that good stuff. But here's what I do love. I do love waking up on a random Wednesday morning or Thursday morning, whatever, and being tagged in a post on LinkedIn from someone that said, oh my gosh, just listen to Good Girls Get Rich episode, 185 by tagging me at Karen Yankovich, where she talks about this, this, and this. Maybe even tagging my guest, if I had a guest on that show, right? Bringing more visibility to my guests. I love when my guests get visibility and tagged in posts, right? It does not happen all that often. So when it does happen, you stand out. So remember when you do this work from LinkedIn versus like if I get a cold email from you saying, Karen, I want to be on your show. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you other than what you're telling me in the email. And I don't know, maybe I'll get to read the email eventually, but you're not going to be high on my list of emails to address. However, if you come up at me with a great LinkedIn profile, like you've done the profile work, you watched all the videos in my LinkedIn profile video series. Where do you find them? LinkedInprofiletips.com will take you to that whole series of videos I did in December so you can update your profile or join our program so I can help you update your profile. So if you're coming at me with a great LinkedIn profile, I wake up in the morning and I see that you shared an episode of my podcast on LinkedIn, tagged me, tagged my guest, told me what you loved about that episode, providing me tons of value, right? Because now you're getting my podcast in front of your audience, which I love that, right? You immediately run to the top of my list of people that are my favorite people that day. If at that point you decide now I'm looking at your profile, I might actually reach out to you and say, hey, are you interested in being a guest on my show? Because I think what you do is pretty interesting. You have a much better shot at being interviewed on my podcast by doing that than you have at pitching me cold. And I'm going to take that same method and put it across all the other people out there that have podcasts, right? I'm not saying that we don't love getting your pitches in the email. I mean, if you want to apply, I want to see your application, happy to check it out. But if you're providing me value and giving me, and letting me know why my message is so aligned with you and what you do and what you're learning and what you teach, so much of a better shot at doing this, right? You have so much of a better shot. So if you're looking to get booked on podcasts, what I suggest you do, here's your strategy tip for this video. Spend some time today, do an hour worth of research on podcasts. Find 20 podcasts that you would like to be a guest on. Now, first of all, make sure they actually accept guests, right? You listen to some of these shows, make sure that they actually accept guests. Also make sure that the host's values are aligned with yours. I don't think it's ever been more important. I don't really want to waste my time interviewing somebody that at the end of the interview, I'm like, I can't interview. I can't air that interview. Like the things they said, I would never say. So you want to make sure that the host's values are aligned with yours, not because we don't like to have conversations outside of I love difficult conversations on my show, right? However, there's a line, right? So let's make sure that your messages are aligned and then make a list of 20 of those people, 20 of those things, and now start to connect with them. Don't do them all at one shot. This week, listen to 3 of the shows, message 3 of the people, like connect with the hosts of those 3 shows, drop an episode, link to one of their episodes in your LinkedIn feed, right? Make sure you've done the LinkedIn profile work first, because that's going to make a big difference. If they can tell you're a rock star by looking at your profile, if your profile's got dust bunnies on it, or if it looks like a resume, nobody's going to care about you. Show up like a rock star. Show up like you want media attention in your profile. Share a link to 3 different episodes on 3 different podcasts, connecting with the hosts. And I promise you that is a much faster path to getting booked on podcasts. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's of value to you today. That is my show for you today. My strategy for you today. Obviously, we go a lot deeper on all of this in our program. If you want to learn more about what it's like to work with me, to have a full-on customized LinkedIn and PR strategy for you, for your business, book a call, KarenYankovich.com/call, or just DM me here on LinkedIn, or DM me on LinkedIn. I know not everybody's watching this on LinkedIn. DM me on LinkedIn. If you're watching this in my Facebook group, DM me on Facebook, or message or tag me in the group. I would love to jump on the phone with you. It has never been more important that we build relationships and build our credibility and build our influence and impact. So today's the day to do it. Let's talk. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to hear you. Let me know how it goes for you. All right. See you back here soon.